Biola, thank you so much for joining us. Tell us, how are the candidates reacting to this change, where the screening earlier, slated for tomorrow, is now taking place today? How are they reacting to that?
Well, the candidates don't seem bothered by this change or sudden change in time. Some of them that I spoke with earlier said, we know, you know we are politicians and we are always ready. All we need is just the go-ahead, and we're out there in the field and ready to contest the election. But the worry here is the previous timetable had 12 days for screening of candidates. Now, River State has over 300 wards. Now, this is 300 times the number of political parties that actually participated in the primaries. I was told that 16 political parties participated in the primaries. So assuming RSIEC were to screen these political party candidates today, that should have been 300 times 16. And then this is aside the LGA and the chairmanship candidates themselves, which are up to 23 LGA candidates. So you can see the volume, the number of candidates that must have lined up for this screening. But midway into the screening, the commissioner in charge of political parties monitoring announced at about 1:20 that local government chairman candidates screening was going to begin at 2 p.m. So while we were still around, we had some persons, councillors who were on the ground already going through their screening, calling their chairmanship candidates, everybody calling everybody to come on, because the screening that was supposed to be for tomorrow was now being done today. The process is still ongoing. We do not know whether or not they will conclude on it today. But as at now, some chairmanship candidates, I beg your pardon, have already been screened today. Well, I have right by me an independent observer who has also come here to observe what is going on, to see how RSIEC is going through the process. And he is right here. Let's hear from him what he observed. Okay, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Now you've seen politicians trooping here for their screening, and the word from them is, we are politicians, we are ready every time, anytime, any day. What's your assessment of this screening, looking at the volume of persons that were to be screened today?
First I was quite impressed, given access as an observer to come to see what is happening. Most times, I have an elections background. SIEC driven elections sometimes are shrouded in a lot of conspiracy and secrecy. And so what we are asked to come and see for ourselves what they said they were going to happen, which was going to happen, and that was why we came. And so far, I was a bit impressed with the turnout for it. And this is because of the background to what has led us to what is even happening. We know that this is not supposed to be an ideal process. I heard this speak a moment ago about the fact that it was for 2 days. On a normal setting, this is supposed to go beyond just 2 days. It's supposed to be about even a week for this process. But we understand that there is a collapsed timetable that they are working with, and they are trying to deliver this process by the end of this month. And so, but for what we are seeing today, it shows that the political parties themselves are ready to participate in this election. Like you said, they told their politicians, and I saw a number of the candidates from the various parties. At least I saw some from Labour Party, I saw some from PDP. What has shocked me is how the RSIEC itself has been able to manage this crowd within such a short time to try to achieve results. If you ask me, it shows that they are serious-minded and they are ready to keep to some of the things that they have promised Rivers people concerning this election, about the need for us to have this election as quickly as possible so we can return to democratic governance.
Okay, now this screening has got to be the most critical part of this election. Now, having such a number of candidates being screened in a day, does it question the credibility? I mean, the thoroughness of the process itself. How deep have these people been screened?
Okay, so that we're not privy to the questions, and that's inner protocols for the screening. But I'm also aware that there have been layers of screenings. This is the one that RSIEC itself is conducting. I'm also aware that I think a candidate was even dropped after he failed one of the layers of the screening by the security agents. So what is happening here is RSIEC probably doing the final work. So they're like the last gatekeeper. So, but for us, especially in the River State Initiative, we are concerned about the timelines, and in RSIEC being transparent and being open about these timelines. You said this is going to happen. Is it actually happening? Instead of you just coming up and showing us that, or announcing to us that you had it screening, why we never saw anything like screening. So, but you can confirm, like I have done here today, that people actually showed up for screening. And from what we saw, it wasn't just a political party. We saw a number of political parties. Personally, I wish, because I heard in the course of the week, even yesterday, about some parties that had pulled out of the process. I wish that as many parties, they raised some very valid concerns. I wish that some more parties would have participated in this. I even heard there was a peace pact that was signed. I wish that we were part of it. All these things are very important to democracy, because elections must be credible, it must also be free, it must be fair, and all of these things are what gives it the essence to show that it is something that has met the minimum standards. And I think what we have seen today, we are a bit, we have hope that the election may live up to expectations.
Thank you. I may just
so
have to
we
let
can't
go,
condemn, to keep up with the momentum and keep carrying the public along and making.
Thank you. We would have to let you go right now. We don't have so much time. So there you have it. A process that was supposed to be done for 2 days has been reduced to 1 day. Now, the previous timetable, like I mentioned earlier, was supposed to have been for 12 days, but it is now 1 day. We do hope that the process has not been that of just passing cards. We do hope that it has been thorough as it should be. Chiweta.
Thank you so much, Biola Festus, for that update. I really appreciate it.